because there's a delay.
All right.
We are live on the air for our third virtual write-in, second virtual write-in, third webcast of the day.
Hello.
Hopefully you can hear us, but there is a bit of a delay whenever we do one of these virtual write-ins. So if you can't hear us, we're not going to find out about it for about a minute. So just hang in there if you can't hear us. My name is Sarah Mackey. I'm the Director of Community Engagement here at NaNoWriMo. I'm coming to you live from Canada, where I live and work and argue with Shelby about whether Justins are from here.
I'm Rebecca Stern, the Director of Programs. I am in Berkeley, California, where it is nice and sunny outside. And so excited to be here. This is actually my first virtual write-in ever. I'm really psyched that I am having my first time with you guys on Double Up Donation Day. Very exciting.
So Double Up Donation Day so far has been so ridiculously successful that it has possibly broken our formulas on our spreadsheet. So we're going to have an update with our total for you in just a minute here. In the meantime, I'm just going to check in with the chat and make sure that you guys can hear us. And I do not see people freaking out about not being able to hear us. So I think we are good to go.
Nice. All right, good. So Double Up Donation Day, really exciting. We're going to tell you a little bit about what that is if you don't know, if you haven't heard about it yet. This is a big day to double up on absolutely everything. So double up on your word count, double up on your, it could be your daily word count, it could be your word count goal, the total. What else, Sarah?
If you have written so many words that doubling your word count today is just completely ludicrous, you can always double your average word count per day that you've written so far, or just go for double the minimum word count to meet your goal. So that's about 3,300 words if you go for that one. And it's basically just doubling up everything and doubling down on NaNoWriMo by doubling up. We have set a new goal for $100,000, and our current fundraising total, we think, is $96,679. So it is very promising that we are going to hit that $100,000 target while we are live on air with you here today, which is very exciting. So stay tuned for updates on that.
Woohoo! And also today only, if you donate $25, you get the $50 donor goodies. So you get double the amount of goodies. Very exciting. And you get Halo spree today. So give your buddies some Halos by donating.
Also this hour, we are doubling the doubling. We are super fortunate to have a $3,000 match from an anonymous donor. So huge thanks to our amazing anonymous donor who has given us this massive gift. So every dollar that you donate this hour, up to $3,000, will be doubled by our mysterious benevolent stranger. So help us with that $3,000. The link to our store is in the description of the video. And we will be keeping you posted on how that double up number is going.
And Sarah, what's the awesome prize?
Such an awesome prize. I am so excited about this hour's prize. This is one of my all-time favorite books, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. And because I was lucky enough to be at NerdCon Stories last month with Rainbow, this has got an autographed NaNoWriMo book plate. You can see it's the NaNoWriMo Library official book plate. That is in Fangirl for the lucky winner this hour. Especially signed for Rainbow for a NaNoWriMo winner. So we are super excited about that prize because Fangirl is maybe the most accurate portrait of your average NaNoWriMo participant that I have ever read. You go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that I might just, have to read a little bit more right now or reread actually while we're in this virtual writing because it's just so amazing. But I'll put it down for now. Okay, sorry, Sarah, go on.
You also, anytime you donate today, you're entered to win our grand prize, which is a fantasy writing basket from Castle in the Air. If you are not familiar with Castle in the Air, it is maybe the most magical store I have ever been in. And it is a basket that includes a pewter and feather quill, a limited edition Herbin ink, hand-bound Italian leather journals, a Caran d'Ache pen and a matching pencil, and the world's best pencil sharpener. We have had a lot of prizes come through the NaNoWriMo offices over the years that I have worked here, and I have never been as tempted to like steal one and flee the country as I am with the Castle in the Air prizes, because they are amazing.
Big news. Just found out who won Justin Blobby. Yeah, do you guys want to know?
I want to know. Is it someone from Canada?
I'm sorry to say it's not.
Damn it. I was really hoping that someone from Canada, he was going to get to go back to his homeland.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's going to stay here for a while. Congratulations to Alice from Ohio. Yay.
You will not regret. Rebecca has the original Blobby there next to her. She will show you how amazing and cuddly he is throughout this virtual write-in. So for the rest of this virtual write-in, we'll be sharing prompts and writing together throughout the hour. We're going to be ending at about 10 to the hour. That's 3:50 Pacific time. You can figure it out. It's about 40 minutes from now, whatever time that is in your time zone. You don't have to use the prompts that we give you, but throughout the whole hour, we'll be giving you suggestions and prompts that you can use in your writing as we sprint together. So we're going to be writing like fury and getting those words down on the page and getting double our word counts. And I desperately need some words because I am gunning for that write for 30 days straight badge, and I haven't written a word yet today. So we are going to start with our first word sprint, and it's going to be a 5-minute sprint. Rebecca is going to be keeping time for us, right, Rebecca?
Yep. I'll give you a 1-minute warning towards the end.
And since it's double up day, we've got double the prompts for you. So you have 2 prompts to choose from. If you don't quite catch what the prompts are, they're written in the description of the video. But our first prompt is, in the spirit of doubles, someone in your story has a twin. Is it an evil twin? How does this information change how others see them?
And the second prompt is, in the spirit of the NaNoWriMo Library, send one of your characters to a library. Are they there for information, meeting someone, or do they just need somewhere to go to get out of the rain? Remember,
I will say, libraries are one of the best places when you have a desperate situation where you need a bathroom. Libraries are a good bet for that too.
So true. So true. Been there. Reminder, you don't have to use the prompts. They are there if you would like to use them, but you don't have to. And if you want a reminder, they are in the video description.
All right, are we ready to type?
Let's start right now. 1 minute warning. We have 1 minute left.
Oh, crap.
All right. The magic sound. Time is up.
All right. So if everyone wants to share their word counts and maybe your favorite sentence that you wrote in that 5 minutes in the chat, we will read a few of them in a few minutes here once we catch up with the time lag. So far, it seems like most of the conversation in the chat has been where one purchases one's own blobby, which is an understandable conversation to want to have. They are sold out of blobby apparently right now, the T-Rex, but I have to say that the chicken is a close favorite for me, a close second favorite for me in the Squishables department. So yeah, share some of your favorite sentences in the comments.
All right. And if you are just joining us today, we are in our virtual write-in for Double Up Donation Day. Really exciting. We are doubling our words, doubling our, maybe characters, doubling our karma, doubling donations for NaNoWriMo, the wonderful organization, which is hosting all of this. So if you're just joining us, welcome. We're also doing word sprints, which are prompts that we are giving and then sprinting for between 5 to 10 minutes for each one. The prompts are optional always. They're just there if you should want to use them or need them.
Some really great word counts coming in here too. People are writing anywhere from 80 to 350 words. And that is for 5 minutes. Any words that you can manage to write in 5 minutes instead of just staring at your screen blankly for 5 minutes, I find really impressive. Oh, I love this. She had to keep reminding herself that despite the eerie similarities, the thing was twig and twine and magic sewn together to be the perfect cover-up for a crime. That's a really great line from Lindsay Fairbairn. Fairbairn? I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at pronouncing words that I have never said before. Teen Idol says, I could lie all I wanted, but I couldn't change how I was feeling. And sometimes your feelings, no matter how much you stuff them down, show up. That is some serious truth coming in there.
Nice.
Oh, we've got a twin coming up here from Lee writes, I glared at my doppelganger. Oh, hang on, I lost it. Got a doppelganger coming in there. I've totally lost it in the chat because you guys are all so fast and I cannot keep up. But it sounds like you guys got some great words done in that 5 minute sprint. So we are going to chat for a few minutes and then have another word sprint. But first, Rebecca is going to tell us what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so today we're talking about, of course, Double Up Donation Day. That's one of the topics, but we are also focusing on that amazing feeling that you get when your words just start to write themselves, when you're writing and you're in the flow and you just get lost and the words just get away from you. So it's a really incredible feeling. We hope that you're feeling that today and every day. And also we wanted to talk about fangirl a bit and dig into Rainbow Rowell's amazing writing. And I actually wanted to read from her pep talk that she wrote for us several years ago, because this really touches on that feeling of letting the words just escape and write themselves. So here's from her pep talk. Normally I start each writing session by rewriting whatever I wrote in my last session. With Fangirl, my NaNoWriMo project, I picked up wherever I'd left off and kept moving. I never looked back. What I noticed right away was how easy it was for me to pick up. One of my challenges as an author is staying inside the fictional world I'm creating. I have to write in blocks, at least 4 hours at a time, at least 4 days in a row, to make any progress. During NaNoWriMo, I never left the world of the book long enough to lose momentum. Stayed immersed in the story all month long, and that made everything come so much smoother than usual. I got a much quicker grasp on the main characters and their voices. The plot lines shot forward. I mean, I still didn't know whether what I'd written was any good. I hadn't even read it all in one piece. But I was so excited about the novel, I wanted to write every day. And even when I wasn't writing, my brain was still working on the story. So I didn't actually finish the book that November. I met the word goal, but was only about halfway done with Fangirl. I continued working on it through January, then did a pretty heavy rewrite the next spring. Here's something that really shocked me during my revisions. I kept almost every word I wrote during NaNoWriMo. Sorry, turning the page. The 50,000 word pile I made wasn't a mess at all. It's some of the bravest writing I've ever done. It includes my all-time favorite character, a guy I think I would have second-guessed to death under normal circumstances. NaNoWriMo helped me push past so many of my doubts and insecurities and bad habits. And I think that's partly why I love Fangirl so much now, because I remember how swept away I felt when I was writing it.
So I don't know if any of you have ever had that feeling when you feel like your story is writing itself, but it is legitimately the closest feeling I've ever had to like magic in a muggle world, where your story starts telling itself and you feel like you're not in control of what's happening anymore. And that's what makes NaNoWriMo so great, is that it's not that we're like, you're going to write the greatest novel ever written in 30 days. It's that you're going to get yourself into that headspace where you can find that magic and write it. And you're probably going to have to edit the crap out of it later. But it's that feeling that you get when you're just writing so fast and you're not worrying about whether it's great or not, that is when you achieve greatness. And one of my favorite NaNoWriMo stories is from Erin Morgenstern's NaNoWriMo novel. Started out being a novel about something else. And she wrote and she wrote and she got halfway through the month and she completely panicked about what she was going to do, as many of us do halfway through the month or earlier, and thought, I have no idea what's happening with my story. My characters aren't doing anything. Something has to happen. This is terrible. I'm going to send them to the circus. And so all of a sudden, from this first half of her novel that was nothing related to it, came this circus that only happened because it was that madcap feeling mid-month in November when you've been writing for 20 days straight or 15 days straight and you're starting to lose your mind. And it was in the middle of that madness that she found The Night Circus, which went on to become a #1 New York Times bestseller, possibly my favorite book of all time. And it's only when you let the writing run away with you that you get to that point that that magic can happen. So sometimes we can get really bogged down overthinking our writing. And let's let ourselves go and not do that today. So we're going to roll right in with that feeling into the next word sprint. Rebecca, how long are we going for in this sprint?
This one is going to be 8 minutes long.
I'm feeling lucky about 8 minutes today. I'm going to get some words done here. All right, we have got, again, 2 prompts for you to choose from. Remember, the prompts are always optional. Your double up prompt is, someone's financial resources suddenly double. Is this a case of finding $5 on the street, or did they receive a windfall? How does this change the trajectory of their story?
And the second prompt is, this time the NaNoWriMo library finds its way into your dialogue. Have 2 characters talk about a library. And remember, you don't have to use these prompts, totally optional, and they're also written underneath the video, so they're there for you as well. And let's start the timer now. 1 minute. Sorry, 57 seconds actually.
God, Rebecca, get it together.
All right.
Oh man, time's up already.
Time is up. Just flies by.
I got 264 words in that sprint, which is less than I would usually write in 8 minutes, but pretty good for also trying to remember that I was on camera.
I got less than 200. But hey, they're words.
Exactly. 200 words, bring 200 of their wordy friends, and suddenly it's a party. So share your word counts in the comments in chat with us. And in a minute here, once we catch up, once you catch up, it's like a wibbly wobbly timey wimey thing there, and I get confused. Once we are all caught up, we will read some of those excerpts and see some of your word counts. But before we do that, so because we are talking about Fangirl, and because the signed Fangirl is this hour's awesome prize for one lucky donor, and the link to donate is in the description of this video, I am going to read an excerpt from Fangirl, because if you haven't read this book, it is the story of a girl named Cather who has a twin sister, perfect for double up day. And they go off to college, and Cather has a really hard time adjusting to her life out on her own and without her sister. And she buries herself in her fan fiction to kind of avoid reality out in the real world, which I think is an experience we probably all had. But then as the novel goes on, she finds a way to exist both in fan fiction and in the real world. So this is Kath talking about the experience that we were talking about earlier, where sometimes it just works when you start writing. Kath climbed back to Levi's room. It had been warm last night, and they'd fallen asleep with the windows open. But the weather had shifted. It was too cold in here now, especially for someone with wet hair. She grabbed her laptop and crawled under his quilt, doubling it up on top of her. She didn't want to close the windows. She pressed the power button and waited for her computer to wake up. Then she opened a Word document and watched the cursor blink at her. She could see her face in the blank screen. 10,000 words, and none of them had to be good. Only one other person would ever read them. It didn't even matter where Kath started, as long as she finished. She started typing. I sat on the back steps. No, she sat on the back steps. Every word felt heavy and hurt, like Kath was chipping them one by one out of her stomach. A plane flew overhead, and that was wrong, all wrong, and her sister knew it too, because she squeezed her hand like they'd both disappear if she didn't. This wasn't good, but it was something. Kath could always change it later. That was the beauty in stacking up words. They got cheaper the more you had of them. It would feel good to come back and cut this when she'd worked her way to something better. The plane was flying so low, moving so sluggishly through the sky, you'd think it was just choosing the perfect rooftop to land on. They could hear the engine. It sounded closer than the voices shouting inside the house. Her sister reached up like she might touch it, like she might grab on. The girl squeezed her sister's other hand, trying to anchor her to the steps. If you leave, she thought, I'm going with you. Sometimes writing is running downhill, your fingers jerking behind you on the keyboard the way your legs do when they can't quite keep up with gravity. Kath fell and fell, leaving a trail of messy words and bad similes behind her. Sometimes her chin was trembling. Sometimes she wiped her eyes on her sweater. When she took a break, she was starving, and she had to pee so bad she barely made it down to the third-floor bathroom. She found a protein bar in Levi's backpack, climbed back into his bed, then kept writing until she heard him running up the stairs. She closed the laptop before the door opened, and the sight of him smiling made her eyes burn right down to her throat. So, Fangirl, first of all, you should read it, and hopefully if you donate this hour, you're the person who gets the signed copy of it. But what we're thinking and talking about today is the idea of double up day is double your word count, and that's great. And I love what Kath says there about your fingers not being able to keep up with your brain, like your legs can't keep up with gravity when you run down a hill. But you have to let yourself just sit down and write the words and not care if they're bad. So I think word sprints are one of the best ways to do that, because you're just focused on the clock and you're just writing without thinking about it. But writing with other people can be a good way to do that too, which is kind of what we're hoping to do here today. So
yeah, I wanted to add in too, just that, you know, bad words often lead to great words, and it's just that writing, just you keep going, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I wrote something pretty great. But you can't get there unless you keep writing. So
it's like they say with a sculpture, where you chip away everything that isn't the sculpture. You have to get the big pile of rock first. All we're doing this month is getting the big pile of rock.
I wanted to read a few lines that people put in the comments. Really, really incredible. Hawthorne Shadow wrote, why would you even be in here? I don't think anyone's used the library in years. It's a high school. Why wouldn't they use the library? It's a high school. And we have Josie Giltsoon wrote, he stood in between the rows of books, balancing a huge tower of novels with little to no effort. I looked at him in awe while he carefully and orderly inserted book after book to its rightful place. I'm looking at all of you guys in awe. You guys are amazing.
Some of these word counts are incredible too. People are writing 200, 300, 400 words, 500 words, 600 words. That is amazing.
Really amazing.
And those words pile up, right? Like you write 600 words in 8 minutes and suddenly you're 1/3 of the way towards your daily goal.
Let's double our word counts again with another sprint. This time it's going to be 10 minutes long.
Let's do 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Woo! I'm going to try to give you a 6-minute warning. I had intended to give you a 4-minute warning the last time, and I just, just like the words, I was lost in my words, lost in time. But I will try to give you a halfway warning. So let me just set up the timer.
All right, 12 minutes. I'm feeling good about 12 minutes.
Okay.
I should also warn you that I hear a 2-year-old roaming in my kitchen, so at some point I may get visited by a rogue toddler.
Prompts. We have prompts for you as well.
All right. For the double up prompt, the price of something gets doubled. Is it the cost of a parking ticket because your character sassed the officer? Did they get caught in a bidding war and found themselves paying more than they wanted to? Double the price on something in your story.
And the second prompt is, this time, the NaNoWriMo Library inspires your characters. Introduce a librarian. Are they an incidental side character who pops up, or does someone who already exists in your story turn out to be a librarian? So these are the optional prompts. They are in the description below the video if you can't remember what they were. So,
all right. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it. So 12 minutes. Get ready to double your word count and start now. 6-minute warning. 1 minute warning, 1 minute left. All right, time to stop. I think the rogue toddler may be somewhere nearby.
I think I might hear a rogue toddler. Eleanor, do you want to come say hi? Can you give Daddy your water? She just woke up from a nap, so she's a little groggy. Eleanor, do you want to come and say hi? No? She doesn't want to say hi. She's being rogue.
A shy rogue toddler.
She did, like, literally just get out of bed. Do you want to come and say hi?
Oh.
Here, can you take it? Can you say hi? Can you say hi into Mommy's microphone? Can you say hi? No, you're going to be rogue. Hi. Can you say, the link to donate is in the description?
Can you say double your donation? You get, or can you say for $25 you get double the goodies?
Can you say double update? No, you're just going to stare at Mommy's computer. All right, sorry for the distraction there. So let's hear some word counts and see if we've got some final excerpts before we sign off here. Somebody wrote 1,200 words. Holy smokes, that's impressive. Let's see. From Endochime, Rhodey reached over and pushed it into her hands. Thank you, she said, and ignored the voice in her mind telling her that he really shouldn't be handling old books like that. You should listen to the voice in your mind because old books are very fragile.
From Doral Elahan, Frederick was 7 feet tall, wore a top hat, a waistcoat, and black leather shoes with green tips. His face was completely obscured by a stack of books that swayed back and forth precariously.
Ooh, I like precarious stacks of books. All right, Rogue Toddler says it's time for us to sign out. So if you follow us on Twitter, there will be an update there soon with the latest total. And I have a feeling we're going to need a new target because I'm feeling confident that we met our match for this hour. Another huge thanks goes out to our mysterious anonymous $3,000 match donor. The link to donate is in the description. Don't forget that for the rest of today, if you donate $25, you get the $50 goodies. If you donate in about the next 6 minutes, you're entered to win the autographed copy of Fangirl that my model here is demonstrating for you. She wants to read it because it's so awesome. And we have more prizes all day long. And the grand prize winner for today will be taking home the Castle in the Air Fantasy Writing Basket. So join us on Twitter. Check out the Halo Spree on Twitter and in the forums if you've already donated. Rebecca, is there anything else you want to add before we sign off?
You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Twitter in just a few.
Eleanor, can you wave? Can you wave to everybody? You say, bye, everybody. No, she's just going to wave. All right. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you, everybody.